Yo, what's up? It's your boy One Arm. Today on Benched, we're bringing you my week 2 power rankings for the NFL. We saw some teams rise a lot, we saw some teams fall, and we saw some teams stay kind of where we thought they were going to be. We're going to try and keep this video short and simple. Like I said, I'm still using TierMaker. We may just do our own graphics on the next video. I haven't decided yet, but as of now, we're still using TierMaker. So here we go. We are going to start off 32nd with the Jets. I didn't see very much from them. They still look like they're in the rebuilding phase. They just, I don't know. They're definitely in need of improvement still. They're not there yet. They're kind of far from, good Jets football. Up next, we are going to have probably the team that I think spent the most money in the offseason to lose their first game, and that's going to be the Dolphins. I think the Dolphins are going to switch to Tua pretty quickly. I think they scored 1 touchdown, maybe. And that defense just couldn't stop anybody. I think Cam had 2 rushing touchdowns. So maybe it's just a week 1 rust and they'll right the ship. But as of right now, they're 31st on my list. 30th on my list. This team kind of disappointed me greatly. I know they were playing a tough Ravens defense, but I thought they'd be able to do a little bit more than what they did. They ended up losing Njoku for the year, or he's on IR. So they just looked lackluster. You could see it all over OBJ's face. He is definitely not enjoying his time there in Cleveland. And I don't know. We did see some positives from Kareem Hunt. Of course, Chubb always runs the ball strong. But I don't know. The Browns are the Browns. Up next we have, we're gonna put the Niners here, or not the Niners, the Giants here. I think the Giants are lost right now. They didn't utilize, I feel they didn't utilize Saquon as much, but there's only so much Saquon can do. That team is definitely in the rebuilding phase. They have, no one's not game planning for the receivers, and they're not game planning for Daniel Jones. It's all 26, and if you could stop 26, then you could basically stop the team. The defense doesn't have anyone worried. And yeah, but we have the Giants at 29. Up next at 28. Man, up next at 28, we're gonna put the Panthers here. I just believe the Panthers are, they're not very good on defense. The defense is very lackluster. They stayed in the game against the Raiders because some blown coverages on the Raiders' parts. But yeah, they need some help on defense, and they need it now. They're just wasting away Christian McCaffrey. Teddy Bridgewater did do pretty well. It was good seeing him. Robbie Anderson, basically they brought Robbie Anderson in for the big play, and he got a big play. So yeah, we have them at 28th. And then up next, we are going to put, I like what I saw from this team, but I was very disappointed in the outcome. And it sucks because they lost. But Joe Burrow, I don't know. Joe Burrow played very well. He had that nice 23-yard scamper for a touchdown. And I think if the kicker makes that field goal at the end, I believe that game goes into overtime, and the Bengals win that game in overtime. That's my honest opinion. But, you know, kicker missed it. They end up losing, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, so we have one more spot, right? The 26th seeded, or my 26th ranked team. I was very disappointed in this team. I really thought they were gonna. I mean, truthfully, I'm not really just. I knew exactly what was gonna happen. What am I joking with y'all for? The Colts, they fell so far. I have no faith in Philip Rivers at all. I swear he cost them that win. 2 interceptions. I mean, granted, I think he threw a couple touchdowns, but it's the same thing that happened in LA with the Chargers, you know? He threw 1 touchdown and 2 interceptions, right? He did have 363 yards, but I believe that's because they lost Marlon Mack, and so they kind of got away with running. Here's my thing. Philip Rivers plays the best when he's putting the ball in someone's gut, right? Whether it be Marlon Mack, Taylor, Hines, they need to run the ball. Total, I don't think a single one of those backs had over 10 rushes, right? And that's definitely going to doom your team if you're relying on Philip Rivers to throw the ball, because I swear it's gotten worse and worse every time I've seen it. But now on to the 25th ranked team. I have to put this team there because they beat the Colts, and they beat them, you know. Connor Minshew came out and he was slinging the rock. He had 3 touchdowns, I believe. 3 touchdowns. They ran the ball pretty well. The defense, like I said, got 2 interceptions. Don't know if it was great defense or just Philip Rivers again, but I couldn't put the Jags past the Colts because the Jags beat the Colts. So we're at what, 24 now? My 24th team, truthfully, they should be higher, but I have to put them here just because of the way they lost, is the Lions. The Lions ended up having a chance to win the game, and Matt Stafford threw a beautiful pass to a wide open Swift in the end zone, and he dropped it. And they ended up losing the game because of that. So I had to. They looked good. I think that's a fluke. So they were here, but I just believe they're so much better than what that game was. Because like I said, they would have won that game. That game was theirs. But, you know, they lost. What can you do? They did allow Mitch Trubisky to throw 3 touchdowns. That's kind of a little iffy, but I do believe they're better than what they played yesterday or Sunday. So we give them a little bit of love. We let them move up because I really do believe they're better than these 2 teams here, this team, and if Rivers keeps playing the way he's playing, definitely better than that team. So next, 24, 23rd. Here's the thing with the 23rd team. I'm pretty sure when every team came up to them, they figured they were going to get an instant W, right? See what I did there? W. We're going with Washington, the football team from Washington. Now, the football team, Washington football team, was getting blown out in the first quarter and a half. They were making Carson Wentz look like Peyton Manning in his prime, right? Dude was just dropping dimes. And then something happened. This team ended up winning the game with 8 sacks, 2 interceptions, and a forced fumble, and 27 unanswered points to beat the Eagles, right? Now, I can tell you right now, the offense I'm not really scared of. It's that defensive line that they have. Young looked like an animal. I swear I haven't been this afraid of a defensive lineman since Aaron Donald got into the league. We all know what Aaron Donald did to my Cowboys. I still think Zeke is still trying to recover from that chokeslam. But yeah, you know, that defensive line is going to give offensive linemen nightmares the night before. And we have them at 23rd. So 22nd. Man, I just don't know what to think about this team yet. I'm torn. They drop a bit for me. I just didn't like how they played. They were feeding the ball to Gurley quite a bit in the first quarter, and then they just got away from it again and just started slinging the ball. Boom, 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 boom. You know, I mean, granted, Russell Wilson's a lunatic, and that dude just can't do anything wrong right now for some reason. I don't know. But, you know, that's what happens. You break off your game plan, keep putting the ball in the quarterback's hands, and, you know, sometimes they win, sometimes they lose. Up next, we have the 21st team. Now, here's the thing. I'm torn between these two just because I did not like what I saw from the one team, and I'm really scared for the other team. But we're going to put the Chargers here at 21. Against the Bengals defense that I really don't personally think is that good, the Chargers offense just didn't look that good either. You know, the Chargers ended up losing another key player, starting linebacker. One of their linebackers, I think, got injured. So he left the game. Derwin James isn't there. Done for the season. Tyrod Taylor just didn't look like he could move the ball. I mean, there were some bright spots with Williams catching the deep passes. Keenan Allen, you know, just didn't look like he was getting separation. Like I said, it all might be rust. They've only had, 3 weeks? But what I saw yesterday is a team win because the field goal kicker missed the field goal. Like I said, they go into overtime against the Bengals. I believe the Bengals win that. And, yeah. Up next, 20th. Now here's where it gets all crazy. Because I really thought the Eagles were going to be pretty damn good. Rager, 50-yarder reception, looked good. Eagles just came out swinging. Then they just died out. The offensive line couldn't block anybody. And I had them rated as one of the top offensive line, if not the best offensive line, coming into week 1. So after that, I don't know. I mean, was it, like I said, just rust? But we have the Eagles at 20. And then up next, I got to put the Bears at 19. I think it was a bad outing. I think the Lions let the Bears win that game. I really do. I think the Bears should not have won that game. I don't think Trubisky should have thrown 3 touchdowns. I'm still not sold on Trubisky, which is why I have the Bears at 19. We'll see though. Allen Robinson still out there catching anything and everything thrown to him. So we'll have to see how it goes. And then up next at 18, we have the Minnesota Vikings. They kind of floundered for me a little bit. They were playing a really I think they got a bad matchup week 1 because Aaron Rodgers, I think, is pissed. And mind you, the Vikings didn't Like, they didn't play bad. They put up 34 points. But Aaron Rodgers, he's playing with a chip on his shoulder. He seems like he's playing angry, you know? How many yards did Aaron Rodgers have? Aaron Rodgers had 364 yards, 4 touchdowns, right? The defense looked good. Of course, Davante Adams was just catching anything and everything. The receivers, we were complaining about him not having help at receiver. They almost had 200-yard receivers that game. It was just crazy, And I think the Packers are going to be a team to be very afraid of this year, especially with Aaron Rodgers. I swear to God, Aaron Rodgers is playing angry, right? So we are at 17. Now, here is the thing with 17. I believe this team, they had a chance yesterday. They lost. But I think the game was closer than it should have been because Tennessee's kicker missed, 3 field goals, 2 field goals? I don't remember exactly how many field goals he missed. But, Drew Lock out there slinging it. Noah Fant, ball. Melvin Ingram had that fumble. He's going to have to start securing that rock if the Broncos want to, do anything this year. Up next, we're going to try and speed through these top teams. Up next, we have the Raiders. The Raiders looked really good on offense. Henry Ruggs, oh my God. He didn't go down injured. He came back, but he went down injured. They kind of kept him on the sidelines. They looked really good against a really bad Panthers defense. But the problem was their defense kind of allowed the Panthers to score some points. So either, I don't know, they had that really big blown coverage for Robbie Anderson to get that 76-yard touchdown reception. So hopefully week 2 they can clean that up. But that's my 16th ranked team. Raiders right now are the 16th. 15th, we are going to put the Texans. Even though they lost to the Chiefs. Right? I mean, I'm worried, and like I said, the Texans could fall all the way back here, right? But I want to see what they do for week. We're gonna keep them at 15, just because I want to see what they do. Okay. Up next, we have probably one of the teams I'm kind of worried about because I didn't think Cam Newton was gonna do that good. Patriots. Cam Newton seems to be revitalized there in New England. He had 2 rushing touchdowns. He looked good throwing the ball. Defense looked really good. Okay. And so, yeah. Patriots, be on the lookout for the Patriots. So we're at 14, right? So 13th rank. I'm kind of the big fall for my boys. The big fall for my boys, man. I had them top 10. They fell for a lot. They're at 15 or 13 right now. That defense scares me. The secondary, I am so worried about that secondary. And I am extremely worried about that defensive line and linebacker core. The linebacker core, I think, is the most important thing that they need to address because Vander Esch is broken collarbone. He's out for 6 weeks. Jalen Smith, I think he played the worst game he's ever played in his life. He had 11 tackles, but it was still bad. He was taking bad angles. He was getting hit. It was just a whole crappiness of defense. When a guy who hasn't played football in 5 years gets your only sack, causes your only turnover, and leads the team, ties the team in tackles, there has to be something said. Like, come on, man. We got a bunch of fucking big contract dudes on defensive side of the ball, and a dude that hasn't played football in 5 years is putting in more. You know what I have to say though? I'm Tristan Hill, that play where they stopped him on 3rd and 4, man, you could tell he's definitely a different player than he was last year. He was moving. But we do have them at 13. And at 12, we have the Buccaneers, sorry. Tom Brady looked rusty. And then now Bruce Arians kind of throws him under the bus. You know, gives him a little like, hey, man, you know, this ain't New England anymore. Mike Evans looked abysmal, but I think he has a hamstring injury. I don't think he should have played. But I have the Buccaneers at 12, which then brings me to the Steelers. Steelers look pretty good. Big Ben was out there slinging the rock. That new running back Snell, I think they had, looking pretty promising. Juju was out there catching the ball. Claypool caught that one. I don't know. It was like a 30-yard reception, 20-something yard reception on the sideline. Claypool is one of my guys I am watching closely. I think he's going to be pretty good. And so we have the Steelers at 11. Now 10, here's where it gets fun. Number 10. I am embarrassed to say this because I said they had the best defense coming into this league. Granted, they have some injuries now, but they lost. And what happens when you lose? You get deranked. You know? And they lost. I never can pronounce his name correctly. I think it's Morset. He looked pretty good. Can't deny that. They did end up injuring Kittle. Garoppolo's gonna end up getting people killed out there if he doesn't stop throwing these high ass passes. You know? But what can you do? They lost, so therefore the next team up at 9, I gotta put the Cardinals. I love what I see with Kyler Murray. I love what I see with Hopkins. I loved what I saw with Kenyon Drake. Like, Murray had 91 yards rushing. Kenyon Drake had 60, right? Hopkins literally took over the game. He had 151 yards receiving, 14 catches. His longest was 33, and I think that was the touchdown that he scored, right? This Arizona Cardinals team is going to be pretty crazy to watch. Their defense needs to shore up a little bit more. They allowed too many big plays. I think it was that one rush for Mostert. You know, they need to clean that up. But I'm excited to see how this team plays in week 2. I'm definitely going to keep my eyes on the Cardinals. Now, up next, after that, we have what? 9, so 8th. Ah, man. It's just 8th. I have to give it to the Rams. 8th. Everyone was worried about, oh, how are the Rams going to play? You know, they don't have key receivers. You know, they got rid of Brandon Cooks. They got rid of Todd Gurley. And people are forgetting that they have McVay. This dude is an offensive genius. He had my Dallas Cowboys not knowing where the damn ball was going to go, right? The defense, like, anytime you're playing against Aaron Donald, you're going to have a hard time. I literally watched Aaron Donald take Looney, throw Looney into Martin, and knock Martin off of his ass, and go and hit my quarterback. Like, it's mind-boggling how good Aaron Donald is, right? And truthfully, that secondary is pretty damn good too. So I'd be on the lookout for the Rams. That team that they have there, that offensive line is now healthy. They're moving the ball. They're moving the line of scrimmage. I'd be watching out for them. So that's what, 8th. 7th was the Bills. Good defense. I think with Stephon Diggs, Allen's going to be just slinging the rock now. They got Moss. They got Singletary, who are both running the ball really well. If they can keep teams from scoring on them, and if they can put some points on the board, I think the Bills go to the playoffs again this year. Up next we have the Titans. The Titans I had fall out of top 5, I think. Wherever they have them 6. I don't remember. I don't have my video up or my thing up from last time. I don't know. Tannehill kind of scares me a little bit. The kicker missing some field goals. Yeah, okay. Henry, but you know Henry. As soon as you just give the ball to Henry. Okay, this dude is a Mack truck with no brakes. All right. So that's my 10 through 6. Now we're into the top 5. Now this is where this gets interesting, right? After what I saw Aaron Rodgers do yesterday, he's playing angry. And if I'm going against Aaron Rodgers, I'm scared. They were worried about him not having anyone to throw to. It does not matter. It doesn't matter. He's just going to throw it to whoever's damn well going to catch the ball. And so we have the Packers at 5. Aaron Rodgers is playing angry. It's kind of scary. Up next, we have the Seahawks. What can you say? Russell Wilson. That defense could be horrendous, and Russell Wilson's still going to win you a game. They went for it on 4th down. Mind you, they didn't go for they didn't throw a little 4-yard, 5-yard pass. Nah, they threw 4th and I think it was like 4th and 2 or 4th and 3 or something like that. They threw a 34-yard or 40-yard touchdown to DK Metcalf. Like, who does that? Who does that? You know who does that? Russell Wilson does that. Now, top 3. This is where it gets interesting. For me, the Saints are 3rd. Drew Brees. Michael Thomas, I think, got a little bit dinged up. Alvin Kamara is just looking phenomenal. I guess he's healthy now. Okay, so he's catching, running, everything. They can get Michael Thomas feeling better. That offense is going to be scary. The defense kind of allows a little bit of points here and there. I think they got... My problem with the Saints defense is they're too hot-headed, you know? And that's their issue. Up next, it's the Ravens. And only because I have to have the Chiefs at 1 because they're the champions. No one's beat them yet, you know? So Ravens look good. They were playing a Browns team that looked really bad. But Ravens definitely 2. And then of course Patty Holmes. I'm super I can't believe that Clyde Edwards is that good of a running back in the scheme that they're running him, and they're not even using him to his full of what he's good at. The receivers look good. Sammy Watkins looks rejuvenated again. He's out there catching the ball. Tyreek Hill's catching everything. So, yeah. That's basically my power rankings for now. We're going into week 2. After week 2, we'll have a new video for week 3. And we'll see where your teams lie then. And we'll see where your teams are standing at the end of week 2. Thanks for coming and hanging out. Really appreciate it. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Benched. We also have a new Twitter. It's called Watch Benched. And yeah, if you guys haven't done so yet, make sure you guys are subscribed, like, and comment on the video if you guys feel like your team got some good publicity, got some good ranking, got some bad ranking. If you don't agree with me, leave a comment. If you like the video, leave a comment. Like I said, we're a new channel. We're starting up. We're trying to get things, you know, situated. We're trying to get things out to you guys. But make sure you guys also pound the hell out of that notification bell so you guys get notified the next time we put up a video. That's going to be it for me. Y'all take it easy. I love y'all. Peace.